And good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Simpson, along with Paul McGuire from the Astrodome in Houston, Texas, and good thing it is because it is hot and muggy outside. Paul, let us continue with the controversy that began Saturday night in Phoenix, Arizona, more correctly, Tempe. John Hadel of Los Angeles did not play Steve Young. Arizona had to win. If they did not, Denver would go. And in that must game, he shot his quarterback down. My question to you tonight is, Houston, no matter what happens tonight, they go. Memphis does not. But Jack Pardee is going to play everybody tonight, including their quarterback, Jim Kelly.
This is another game for the Houston Gamblers. They feel that they need to tune up to go into the playoffs against Arizona. Now, they did beat Arizona. They don't care about that. That was regular season. Now they're in the playoffs. Jim Kelly will play. Everybody that has started in the past will play. If they get way ahead, then, I'm talking 21 points, then you may see Kelly come out.
All right, now, Steve Young admittedly was banged up. That's true, but could have started. What about the possibility, hopefully not a probability, of a Jim Kelly, who could be the league's MVP, getting hurt tonight? And would they be finger pointing at Pardee in that case?
Yeah, they would finger point. But the thing about it is, Pardee has talked to Kelly. Kelly's the kind of player that wants to play. He asked me in the locker room earlier today, Jim, he says, "Do you know how long I'm going to play?" I said, "I don't know, quarter, maybe half." He said, "Geez, I hope not. I want to play the whole game." He's the kind of guy, and if he feels a little bad, he'll come out. He's smart enough to know that.
Well, Pepper Rogers of Memphis says, we're going after these fellas, and we're going to go after the game after we go back to you, Tom Meade.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Here we are again in the Houston Astrodome with a game featuring Jim Kelly and the record-setting run-and-shoot offense of the Houston Gamblers, ready to gobble up yet another opponent. But here we are with another opposing coach, Pepper Rogers of the Memphis Showboats. Paul McGuire, Pepper says he's got a plan to stop this offense. What's the plan, and does it have any prayer of working?
Well, first of all, they may be able to slow him down, but I don't know about stopping Houston. Pepper Rogers is doing something just a little bit different now. He's going to a four-man line, moving Reggie White inside to a tackle, playing two linebackers on the inside, and using his cornerback to cover the two inside guys. Now, I'm going to tell you what, James. I don't know if anybody can cover him.
I was going to ask you the question. My obvious question, you think it's going to work?
No, I don't think it's going to work. I don't even think they can slow him down.
All right, we'll see what we shall see, but now I'll go back before the kickoff again to Tom.
Let's take a look at some key players for both teams. For the home team, the Houston Gamblers, let's see a little bit of wide receiver Richard Johnson in action. Richard Johnson, a former member of the Colorado Buffaloes in college, holds the pro football record for passes caught in one season. This is one of 112 catches coming into tonight's game, including 15 of them for touchdowns. Richard Johnson, number 22. At quarterback, incomparable Jim Kelly, the rookie from the University of Miami, holding 3 pro football passing records, including most TDs in 1 year, 43 coming into tonight. Todd Fowler, the rookie running back, could go over 1,000 yards rushing tonight with 54 yards in the ground. For the visiting Memphis Showboats, their quarterback is also named Kelly. His name is Mike Kelly. The veteran from Georgia Tech, the former member of the Tampa Bay Bandits, has taken over for the injured Walter Lewis in Memphis. Kelly had 2 touchdown passes last week against Birmingham. This is one of them to Derek Crawford you just saw. Mike Kelly's done a nice job at quarterback subbing for the Memphis Showboats. Wide receiver Derek Crawford, 12 TD catches on the year. He's a rookie from Memphis State. And tight end Gary Church, who played for Memphis in the WFL, and the Giants of the NFL, having a good year with Memphis of the USFL. We're all set to kick off our final game of the regular season in the USFL and here on ESPN. Let's go to the Astrodome, the coin toss. Jim Simpson and Paul McGuire.
Thank you, Tom, and welcome back to the Astrodome, where the temperature is always 72 degrees and the humidity about 50%. Pepper Rogers, who is the head coach of the Memphis Showboats, someone published that the owner, Bill Donovan, said that you got to win 7 games. He's already done that. In the Revenge Bowl last week, he had only the second sellout in the history of the USFL, and they played Birmingham a lot tougher. And Pepper says about tonight's game, we are going after them. And you've heard Paul say the kind of defense they're going after Houston and try to slow this number 1 offense in the league down. On the other hand, Jack Pardee, who is known for his defense, he's the one in the center there, has his team in, and everybody's talking about his offensive coordinator, Mouse Davis, and whether or not he might become the new coach at Denver, even though Craig Morton is still there. So Pardee is the head coach, but Davis is getting all kinds of ink for his job with this run-and-shoot offense. There's Mouse Davis in the white shirt with his back to you. So that is another story. And right now the story becomes a game, the last of the second season of the USFL. And Memphis has won the toss and will receive.
Jim, I think if there's one player that we have to watch on Memphis tonight with this new defense they're going to run, which is the 4-2-5, is the fact that they're moving Reggie White, who is normally a defensive end. He's going to play tackle because they hope that he can get heat on Kelly.
Remember a week ago, as we take a look at Derek Crawford, they said Dale Walters will kick off for Tony Fritz. And he did. Tonight they came in and said, hold it, Fritz will kick off, but that is Walters in your picture. And that, it's off the hands of one of the up men, Billy White. White out of Missouri will get at least back to the 20-yard line, and then it becomes very difficult for him there. And we got a Kelly coming on as a quarterback. And in this case, even though the number's the same 12, it is Mike Kelly out of Georgia Tech. And he's got a claim to fame since replacing Walter Lewis. He's hit on about 72% of his passes. Alan Reed, 34, one running back with Glenn Ford out. Cornelius Quarles, good pass catcher, the other running back, number 40. Wide receivers, Cormac Carney, 83. Derek Crawford, 9. Tight end, Gary Shirk, 87. McKinley and Mikulosic, the tackle, Smith and Robertson Dogs, and our Kuhn at center. Kelly on a handoff to Alan Reed, and there's just no place to go. Absolutely no place to go. Defensively, Cleveland Crosby sat out a one-game suspension for leg-whipping Mike Rozier, and he sat out that suspension last week. At left end, 78, Tony Fitzpatrick, 62, Hosea Taylor, 93, Pete Caton, the leading sacker, 77. That's the front four. Mike Hawkins, 57, Kiki Diallo, 31, Andy Hawkins, 59, the linebackers. Mike Mitchell, 35, Will Lewis, 24 at the corners. Calvin Eason, 34, and Tommy Myers, the veteran, 37, the safety. Second down, 11. It out here, now to Reed, turning around, couldn't make the catch, third down.
Well, Reed came out of the backfield and really was not looking for the ball right away. Kelly did throw it on the wrong side. He said Cleveland Crosby set out the suspension. Well, he made the first tackle. It looks like that week off might have helped him.
Came barreling in there underneath to make the tackle. Third down, 11. And you know that any team that plays Houston wants to hang on to the football because every other team can score with it, but Houston just scores most of the time. Reggie Sanders is in, got a couple of passes last week, and Kelly's in trouble, and he is sacked. And number 77, Pete Caton, comes up with sack number 16.5. And that takes the ball back inside the 15-yard line.
Someone forgot to tell Houston that they've got it sewn up and they're going to the playoffs. Watch Caton come from the right-hand side. Was not blocked at the line of scrimmage. Phil McKinley, number 73, missed his man, which is Caton, and that's the first sack of the ball game.
Rick Partridge to kick it away, and Gerald McNeil had a punt return for a touchdown back last week. He's standing back at the 35. Good punt.
Super kick.
Good punt. McNeil back at the 32. He's got great speed, and a flag goes down as he goes down across the 45-yard line. And they'll sort this out. Usually at this time it might be a face mask, but here comes our referee tonight, Percy Penn, to tell us. And while he's talking things over, well, let him tell us what it is. No, it's going to be a legal block from behind. Percy Penn is our referee. The umpire is Marvin Durenberger. Roger McMinn, the head linesman. Line judge Stephen Morehouse. Bill Begin is the back judge. Side judge John Everett. And Michael Mathis is the field judge. They will step this off. And that's the break of sorts for the Memphis Showboats. Takes the ball back to the 34-yard line. And now...
illegal contact above the waist during the run back on number 35.
Number 35 is Mitchell, one of the cornerbacks. Jim Kelly, number 12, and all these receivers. Richard Johnson with 112 catches, number 22. Ricky Sanders with 97, number 80. Greg Moser, 85. Joe McNeil, 13. The lone running back, Todd Fowler, the line in a moment. That's Sanders in motion. And he's going to throw right across the middle of Richard Johnson. Johnson got the first down and is out to midfield. And now there's a flag down, should be face mask, but Johnson has now caught his 113th pass. That ties him with Terry Greer, the CFL, for the all-time professional pass-catching championship. Another tonight, you know he's going to get one. He'll break that.
Jim, that time just shows you the arm of Kelly and the quickness and how sharp he really is. Last week, Kelly did not have a good game. They won the game
4 times.
You betcha. And one thing the party wanted Kelly to do is come in this game, get his head straightened down. I don't think his head has ever been screwed up. He just had a great time.
Foul, face mask, number 29, first down.
That's Leon Williams.
Watch how quick this releases of Kelly. Now, he's going to hit Johnson, and there are people around him. Look at this pass. Bang, right in the middle. Then you're going to see Leon Williams in the face mask. Not here, but right there. That's the face mask.
First down from the 34. Now, remember, they've got Baxton to cover the likes of Richard Johnson. But can they do it? And I think he's going to be open again. And now the ball is knocked away on a fine tackle by Duran Major, who hit him. We still haven't given you the chance for the offensive line. Ernie Rogers and Tommy Robinson, the tackles. Scott Boucher, Billy Kidd, the guards, and Frank Khalil at center. And while they walk back upfield, let's talk about the defense for a moment. And the front four, they usually go to the three-man line. Steve Beard, 99. Reggie White, 92, as Paul said, moved inside. Red Williams, 63. Calvin Clark, 74. The linebackers both inside. Steve Hammond, 54. Mike Whittington, 52. The defensive backs on the corners, Barney Bussey, 8, and Mike Thomas, 49. Your cornerbacks, Duran Major, 27, Leon Williams, 29, and Dick Miner is the safety. Second and 10. Going every time. Kelly is going to be able to get outside and run as far as he wants. He'll get the line of scrimmage and get out of bounds. First down inside the 25. And here comes that Houston offense. No matter what you do, Paul, something happens.
There's just so many things that can happen, and Leon Williams almost gets Kelly at the end. Just take a look at it. Now, we're taking a look at Reggie White. He's coming from the inside. I think they've slowed him down a little bit, but watch. Leon Williams, number 29, is going to come up. Watch what Kelly does. A quick step out of bounds. He likes it. He said, nice try.
Talk about, and I work with one. Talk about a smiling Irishman, Jim Kelly, is that. No question that, no matter what happens on the field. All inside the 23-yard line, no score. 3 minutes and 8 seconds have gone by. Check that, 2 minutes and 8 seconds have gone by.
Yeah, his game plan is a little bit different than mine.
And there he goes, Johnson. First and goal to go. He has broken the record. He is the all-time professional pass catcher with 114 now. 2 tonight, and his first and goal to go.
Jim, this is what I was talking about. When you're trying to cover Johnson one-on-one, I don't know of anyone in this league that can do that consistently. Here it comes. Now, number 23 is Vic Miner trying to stay with him. Watch where Vic Miner is. He is lost. They ran Johnson underneath. You've got to give him some help from the linebackers, but you remember again, you can't have the illegal chuck downfield.
Jerry Argovitz, one of the owners, handing the ball to Johnson as he has got now a total, and I have it written down here as 114 instead of 115. He started with 112, 113 tied Greer, 114 beat Greer, but that 115 will hold good for later on, I guarantee it. Well, you know, Paul, again, it's like playing college ball. Memphis has never played the front four to start a game or has had the defensive backs on the corners instead of linebackers. They've had a lot to learn in a very little while, and it's tough. Now Fowler goes straight ahead, and here's a man that's very close to 1,000 yards, and he didn't start the first 7 games.
Jimmy, you brought up a very good point. Now, Pepper Rogers, they know that they've got to do something to create a diversion to try to stop this passing game of Houston. We talk about it so many times, and it should be talked about it because it's so great. They've broken almost every record in professional football. But when you take your team after 17 games, Jim, and you put them into an altogether different defense that you're going to learn in 1 week, it's very difficult for these people to learn it because I don't understand something. There are a lot of first and second year players on this team.
I hear you. Fowler's going to get another shot. Fowler. There's touchdown. They give it to him. Fowler gets his 10th touchdown rushing the football, and that is a 66-yard line. Highlighted by the couple of catches of Johnson, including the one all the way down to the 1-yard line.
Barney Bussey does not agree. Now remember, we remind you, the ball just has to crack the plane to the goal line. Now, it says Fowler gets the ball across the goal line. There's the goal line. Right there he has it to the goal line. But now, the continuous effort is the over. From that point where they signaled touchdown, he was not over.
Tony Fritz into try the extra point. Greg Moser to hold. The extra point is good, and Pepper Rogers and his crew realize they could be in for a long night. Fowler scored the touchdown, but Kelly does what comes naturally, leading them down there. He's got all the records in the world, and Richard Johnson has just added one for himself. That's Johnson on your left with 114 catches. He now matches the all-time passer, the all-time pass catcher. ESPN up there, this is our last game of this year. Our time does fly. 4 months have gone by. If you've heard about the contract, it'll bring us 3 more years. There's Derek Crawford was deep again. Walters again to kick the ball off. Now, Crawford took that at the 9, so he's already got an advantage and is already across the 20. The football is out for grabs, and it's touched on. Mike Dunn, number 33. Crawford, one of the top kick returners, took a shot. Dunn, 33, will get up and run off with the ball.
Oh, does he take a shot? Mike Dunn scrambles afterwards. Let's see Derek Crawford now. A low-line drive should be able for a good return, but watch what he does. Instead of staying with his blockers, he cuts back to the inside. Now, the shot, I don't know who hit him. It looked like number 50, McLean, but watch Dunn. Dunn had to fight through some Memphis people to get the ball. It is now Houston ball on the 21-yard line. Look out.
And here comes Kelly and company. Sanders in motion. They're just loafing out there. Look, free for the diving touchdown catch. Number 88 got McGee. And Kelly has got touchdown number 44. And McGee has made his 4th catch. And there's something about, they may have to go back to the regular defense because the defense they've installed for this game has not worked at all.
Well, what they're doing here, they're going away from the flow. They're coming back to McGee on this side. Now watch, there's going to be one-on-one coverage on this side on McGee. The safety, you see him at the top of the screen, drifting towards the middle. No way that Deron Major is staying with McGee. Watch McGee. Here it is. That's it, in your face, in your face.
All kinds of confusion in the secondary of Memphis, which is trying something new tonight. As he bends, his time is out. Scott McGee had it all the way. And all of a sudden, early in the first quarter, Houston doing what comes naturally, leading 14-0. Memphis has been blitzed in less than 4 minutes of play with 14 points. Now they'll try it again. Taken by the up man. Oh, and he brought the football, but I think he's down. Was he down or not? This ain't belongs to him. I still think that Pittman hit the deck before the ball bounced out.
That's what you call getting your socks knocked off. All right, we're going to take a look at the touchdown again with McGee. And they're trying to cover him with Deron Majors one-on-one. And Kelly's just going away from the flow. But you got to understand something about this defense. What they're trying to do, Memphis with their defense, is get more pressure on Kelly from the backside.
He hasn't got any pressure from any side.
That's exactly right.
And remember, a fumble cannot be caused by the ground. And in our eyes, and in the eyes of the officials, Pittman was down when the ball popped loose. That's Crawford in motion. Kelly will try to get something going. Kelly, oh, look at this. All by himself is Cormac Carney, and that's the first down for Memphis. One thing Pepper Rogers has done with a largely no-name team outside of the state of Tennessee and perhaps across the river in Mississippi, he has put together a spunky group. They were doing very well at Birmingham. The Stallions last week came back in the Revenge Bowl and blitzed them, and then the Showboats came right back again. So it's a spunky team.
And one thing Pepper thinks that they can do against Houston's defense is play-action passes.
Anthony Jordan is wide to the right. Sandlin to the left. First down in Houston territory. And here it comes. Bootleg throws the ball, and Cornelius Quarles, I think he's across the line of scrimmage. I think Mike Kelly is across the line of scrimmage, but Cornelius Quarles, who may have some of the best hands on the team, couldn't handle that ball.
Well, wouldn't make any difference anyway. Cornelius Quarles 40. And there's
a down and all the rest of it.
It's first and 10, number 40 also. But when you cross the line, it's a penalty plus loss of down, 5-yard penalty. And the bootleg worked beautifully.
Beyond the line, number 12, loss of down. Be second down.
Second down and 15 from midfield. 14-0 with 9:46 to go in the first quarter. I wonder how George Allen, hello to George Allen and all you Arizona Wranglers, congratulations for making the playoffs, but this is where you got to come next Sunday. There's pressure from the blind side, and he was throwing the ball. So from the backside, it is Mike Kelly who gets the pressure, not Jim Kelly, as Andy Hawkins was blitzing, and I just don't know how soon Mike Kelly is going to get up. He really took a shot. It would be Ken Johnson if he cannot get up. Walter Lewis is already out.
Watch the right of your screen, the backside, the blind side. The one thing that quarterbacks fear so much. Now, Kelly is looking directly to his right. Here comes Andy Hawkins and hits him as he's going. But he also fits, Tony Fitzpatrick, number 62, is the man that hit Kelly in the ribs.
And Fitzpatrick was knocked out by a wide receiver last week. He's looking for somebody to hit tonight. Back of Jim Kelly, but his own Mike Kelly has been attacked, and Fitzpatrick hit him in the ribs, and that's what they're looking at. So Ken Johnson, the veteran of Colorado, takes over. It is third down 15 at midfield, 14-0 Houston. Crawford, the man in motion. Johnson's going to run right up the middle. He needs a lot. Gets it out here to Sandilands, and Sandilands does not get the first down. It's fourth down from about the 39-yard line. Andy Hawkins peeled back to make the stop. And out comes the punter, Rick Parker.
Sandilands catches the ball, and he hesitates for a second to see where he is to turn upfield. And when he does that, watch 59, Andy Hawkins. Another shot right here. You think you're going down? You bet you're going down.
Well, Partridge, with nobody really deep, not knowing what Pepper might try to do, but Partridge is going to, well, that's going to go nowhere near. Well, it might take, and it does take, a bounce to the left and go out of bounds on the 11-yard line. 9 minutes to go, 14-0. And Jim Kelly comes back in, and let's take a look, Paul, very closely at whether they stick with the defense that they have been playing until now. I'm going to check on some of those linebackers. Well, apparently they're going to go with the same thing that they started out with. All pro records, most yards gained single season. Warren Moon, while in Canada, now he's here in Houston with the Oilers, 5,648. Kelly before tonight, 5,108, and he's added some tonight. Warren Moon in another year in the CFL, 5,000. Danny Fouts has done the best in the NFL. Ball just over the 11.
They're in that same defense.
They sure are. And that's Mr. Johnson in motion. Kelly will throw from anywhere, and he'll throw from back here, and then all by himself across the way is Ricky Sanders, and Sanders gets out across the 10 to about the 14-yard line. A pickup of 3, Barney Bussey put him out of bounds.
You know, not only do these receivers have great hands, Jim, but every time they catch the ball, they have the presence of mind to elude the tacklers. And they make sure they catch the ball. Sanders that time, and Kelly picks up another 4 yards, or let's see, 3.5 yards, let's say. Give him 3 yards on that, so he's got, what, 62 yards so far?
It is something. Second down, Sanders going, well, now he's going to have 3 wide receivers on this side. And he's looking this way, and he's going to throw this way, and it's going to be caught by no one. The closest man to it was Sanders. I'll repeat something that we've said so often, in the defensive backs in this league would sit up and applaud or else turn pale with fright. Paul and I in Pittsburgh one night stood behind the Houston offense and just watched them come downfield. And it was frightening. And they're just warming up at about half speed or quarter speed to see all those people flooding out of the backfield and off the line of scrimmage.
I got to believe that they're going to go, they have to go back to Gerald McNeil or Moser. Now they got Gerald McNeil that may end up by himself, or Moser on this side by himself, because Memphis is playing one-on-one on those two guys. Now Moser's by himself over here.
3rd and 7.
There it is.
And he puts it out here. Oh, it's intercepted. Intercepted, stepping out of bounds is Mike Thomas, and that time that defense worked. That time it worked. Sanders coming out of the backfield. That was his man. And Thomas came over to pick up the interception, his 5th of the year he leads the club.
All Kelly read was Deron Major on this side. He did not see Mike Thomas, number 49. Watch Kelly's reaction afterwards. He sees it. No.
Ball is
smile and go to the bench and say, okay, you got 1, I'll get 2 back.
all right. The ball is at the 26-yard line, and Mike Kelly has come back in. Where is that Johnson? Looks like Kelly. It is Kelly. So apparently his ribs are okay. Going straight ahead is Pittman, a man also guilty of a fumble. Wayne Pittman. And he was not expected to play much tonight, but as Pepper was saying today, when you lose Glenn Ford, a man with better than a 4.5-yard rushing average from your lineup, and you lose Walter Lewis, which you did some weeks ago, it makes things a little tough. But that was a nice game by Pittman, and it is second down and 4 from just outside the 20. Crawford, the man in motion. Look out. Kelly fires the ball for the end zone and is knocked down by Hollis Hall at about the 2. Intended for Reggie Sandlin.
Hollis Hall was standing about the 2-yard line just waiting for the ball. And it looks like you might try to run before you get it. I've said this so many times. Another reason why Hollis is on defense, because he can't hold on to the football. But just take a look at it. Kelly does not see Hollis Hall. Watch this. He's standing there, Jim, just waiting on the ball. Goes right through his hand.
And had he not been there, still it was outstanding coverage on the receiver Sandlin. 3rd and 4. In a log jam coming out. He can run for the first down perhaps. He can run for it and does. He gave a fake and the linebacker Hawkins took it and dropped off, and Mike Kelly ran for the first down. All inside the 15-yard line.
One thing that's happening, Jim, is that in Houston, they are not taking the fake on the replay. Take a look at it here. Here's the replay, and Hosea Taylor is there. The blocking is pretty good up in the middle. Kelly gets to the outside, and this little pump fake right here holds the linebacker, and he goes. In fact, he did it twice. But the one thing that the Houston Gamblers are not doing, they're not taking the play action fake. They're going right for Kelly.
14-0 Houston. Memphis looking to get on the board. It's down inside the 15. Kelly again in trouble. Still in trouble. Nice footwork there, and that's going to fall down. Tried to get the ball, and that should be okay. Falling down, there was a man in the general vicinity, and as he went down, he threw, and you can call him half and half, but he'll get away with that because no one was really pressuring him to throw the ball away. They were not hanging all over.
You just saw Kelly without his hat on. Watch him try to. First of all, he's going to try to get away from Caton. Is there? Cleveland Crosby is there, first man. Then here comes Caton. Good move back to the inside. Watch his legs start to give out. He says, wait a minute. And he throws the ball. But you got to understand something. See, he's not touched. They're booing. Right. He could get back up and run with the football, so he does have the ability to throw the ball on the ground.
Second down. Crawford ends up the ball to him tonight. Kelly throws the ball, and it's intercepted again. Touchdown by Hollis Hall, who holds on to it. And he's back to the 20. Who said Hollis Hall had bad hands? Second time around, he picked it off. 7:15 to go in the first quarter, 14-0 the Gamblers. That is the player that we judge most valuable. $1,000 from the Menon Company goes to the college or university of his choice. But that should be a long way away. After the interception, Sanders in motion. First down at the 20, Houston. They lead by 2 touchdowns. And there's Fowler trying to go somewhere. He broke one tackle, and now the linebacker comes up to footing. That's Whittington, who played the last 3 years with the New York Giants, number 52 out of Notre Dame. Has finally put down Todd Fowler. Fowler starts tonight, not needing too much to get to the 1,000-yard mark, just about 54 yards.
Here's a man we're talking about playing tackle, Reggie White. Now, Reggie White is basically, they're all concerned with first of all pass. Now, watch, here's Fowler. Look at the strength of Fowler. He breaks out of the grasp of Reggie White, who had 2 hands on him. Take a look at it. It takes 3 or 4 people to bring Fowler down.
Second down, 9 to go. Kelly. Oh, look at this. They can catch up to it, but Johnson cannot catch up to it. The man back there with him is Vic Minor. And it is third down and 9. Kelly loves to go for the bomb. Over half of his touchdown passes have been for 20 yards or more, and about 30% of them have been for 30 yards or more. He loves to play this football game.
Jim, he never gets his head down. You see with his head down. Look at his
Don't
face.
smile now.
He knew he had him. He also had McNeil going down the sideline. And Kelly, the ball just took off on him and went up in the air. Kelly knows, I mean, at any time, there's always, when you look at it, not always, but most of the time, there's not only one receiver open, but usually 2.
Third down and 9. Sanders the man in motion. Kelly, they haven't had any pressure from the backside yet. Not yet. He was going that way. Now rifles the ball, and the ball is caught. Number 89, St. Louis transfer down. One of his few catches on the year. That's just number 14. Barney Bussey put him down. Have you seen any pressure at all from the back on Jim Kelly? I have not.
Not on the backside, but I want to tell you something. If you don't think that this man can throw a football, watch what he does. There's Reggie White. Reggie is tired right now. He's down on the knee. But watch where he puts this ball on the dead run, running at Verdun as receiver. This ball hits Verdun, watch it, Jim, right in his chest. You better catch this one. Bang! And they have no chance whatsoever to get him. Vic Miner, just forget that.
From the 48-yard line, Johnson in motion. First meeting between these two teams. Kelly's got all the protection in the world from the back, and now here's Moser all by himself, and he's got another first down inside the 35-yard line. No surprise, maybe how the defense is having problems with Kelly, but Rogers said today, Pepper said, let's face it, Jim Kelly is a bona fide number 1 draft choice in any league.
Well, Jim, you know, we've talked about this defense, and we are not nailing the Memphis Showboats defense. What we're saying is this. They went in with this defense, they changed to a 4-man rush, 2 linebackers, to try to get some heat on the backside of Kelly. They figured they'll take Reggie White and put him inside of the tackle, which he has not played. He's a defensive end. And if you watch Reggie White, you can watch him on the line, they're just picking him up.
Now Fowler on the draw play, getting ever closer. He's got the first down to that 1,000-yard mark. He's inside the 20-yard line.
Jim, the man he ran through again with Reggie White. Reggie White, now, you got to understand something. The defensive lineman, the first thing you're thinking about is pass rush to get to Kelly. Now, take a look at, here's the draw to Fowler. Reggie White's going to get a hand on him there. They're also getting one from Brett Williams on the inside. And then the man, Terry Love, has got to come up and put him down. Good tackle by Love, but another first down.
3:55 to go in the first quarter, and look out, here come the Gamblers again. Finally, a team in the league that's been able to effectively stop this ball play. San Antonio came close. There goes Fowler again. Another first down, inching closer to the 1,000-yard mark. And the Gamblers are inching closer to a 3rd touchdown in the first quarter.
Fowler needed 54 yards going into this game to reach 1,000, and I'll tell you something right now, they want to get it to him. He's got a split lip. He's taking some punishment, but he's also giving punishment.
Houston gets Arizona, and that will be next Sunday at 2:30 Houston time, about the same time as Tampa Bay is playing Birmingham.
Unofficially, we had Fowler 5 carries, Jim 26 yards.
A little ways to go yet. There's Kelly, the right side is flooded. He throws underneath to Sanders, and Sanders will be knocked out of bounds at about the 6-yard line. Pickup of a couple. In the end zone, McGee and Johnson. Sanders was underneath, and they got the ball to him. 2:59 left. Funny, and Paul and I on Monday nights, and Don Heinrich and I on Saturday nights, just sat around and said, okay, and that was one of our first questions to Rogers today, how you run a defense this good? And everybody always comes in with an idea. We haven't seen anything work yet.
We've had so many ideas and so many people telling us so many different things that, and again, the only ones that have slowed it down somewhat, but there has been absolutely no one that's been able to stop it.
Second down, Kelly gets to Fowler. Fowler is close to the touchdown, and in the 3rd and about a yard. And that is all.
They want to give Fowler 1,000. Fowler wants to take 1,000 yards. Just watch Todd Fowler and the power in his legs. Here comes that quick draw again. Fowler, and the blocking up front is just superb. Fowler goes in, he's tripped up, but he does get to the 1-yard line, inside the 1-yard line.
Well, as someone wrote in a Houston paper yesterday, the big surprise was that Sam Harrell, with all those touchdowns, wanted to be called Horrell. That was a surprise. Now he is well again, and he is not playing for Chris Fowler. That's taking it down with him. Here's Fowler. And they haven't given it to him yet.
He didn't score. He put his back into the end zone. They knocked his helmet off, but the ball never crossed the goal line. You've got to get the ball out front. Officials are right on top of it.
There's a good look. That's Todd Fowler, rookie out of Stephen F. Austin.
Now just take a look, Jim. You'll see him go in with his back right here. He gets hit. Rod Show coming down the line, but the stop was it Bearden?
The Carlton Gunn, I believe, all 305 pounds of it.
But he turned him around. They're going to go for the field goal.
Watch out. Here's Tony Fritz. This is the 17 50-yard field goal, and it is good. Well, they did something there. They stopped them with a field goal. It's 17-0, Houston first. Memphis cheerleaders, they made the trip and put on quite a show. Now Memphis would like to put on quite a show. Pittman running it down, picks it up behind Crawford, and Pittman breaks loose and gets across the 25, and then Dale Walters gives him quite a shot. The punter and kickoff man makes the tackle. But the question becomes not only how do you stop Houston, which is going to score anywhere between 28 and 35 points, they always do, as you take a look at that scoring drive. The question now becomes, how are you going to score against Houston? Let's face it, Houston does not have a greatest defense in the world. They're number 12, 9th against the rush and 13th against the pass. Although they're rather defensive about their pass ranking because everybody figures they got to throw in Houston to beat them because they always fall so far behind. And the secondary gets a lot of extra work. From the 26, tailback, and Pittman does not get too far.
Johnson is now the quarterback. They took Kelly out. Linebackers is playing well because the defensive line they're playing well. Kiki Diala is the man that's going to make the play here on Pittman. Just watch Kiki Diala right in the hole. The linemen take their people out. The linebackers still. Watch this here. Defensive lineman. That's Fitzpatrick, 62. They didn't get out to block him, and when you don't get out to block the middle linebacker, who was one of the two middle linebackers, bang, he's there.
It was just missed by Gillespie. Complete. Second and 10. Johnson, and it's going to be intercepted. Yes, sir. And up in the one is Will Lewis with his 8th interception of the year and out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Second time tonight an interception against Memphis. Wow. First quarter is over. I tell you, Memphis is glad to see this thing end. Well, he didn't throw for those touchdowns. He threw for one of them. His 44 tonight. Here's Todd Dillon going up and right there, but unable to catch the ball is Sanders, and he's going to be upset with that. He is upset with that. He should have caught that. Dillon just picked up where Kelly left off.
Look at these first quarter stats, 154 yards to 36 yards. That's the key. 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Kelly ended up that first quarter, played 7 out of 11, 111 yards. Jim, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
There have been all kinds of suggestions of how to stop. Remember what Craig Morton did? Never used a down lineman. And that day, Todd Fowler gained more than 200 yards. Jim Kelly may be through for this night.
I can promise you, Jim, he's going to be like a caged lion because I know he wants to play.
There's Dillon heading off again. That's Fowler again, and Fowler gets down to the 26-yard line. That was made there by Hammond, one of the inside linebackers, number 54. And it is third down.
Carlton Green, number 66. Take a look at Carlton Green. He's going up on the line of scrimmage against Boucher. And here's Carlton Green coming down, beats Boucher and makes the tackle, but there still was about a 5 or 6 yard gate. I'm sorry, Carlton Gunn. Carlton Green? I'm not thinking
Taylor or what?
Carlton Gunn, I'm sorry, Carlton.
Third down. And 5 to go. And it's in a quick down, and right there is Johnson for yet another catch. And he's got the first down. So he continues to add on to that record. On the other side of the field from him, Ricky Sanders has set the all-time record for a rookie in professional football with, before tonight, 97 catches. What Richard Johnson has done. And the man sitting on the sidelines has been, in large part, responsible for that. When you talk about McNeil and Bertan and Sanders and Johnson, you're talking about speed. McGee and Moser may not be that fast, but they're not slow men. Fowler carried 7 times for 38 yards. He's got 60 more to go to hit the 1,000-yard mark. First down, Dillon, and almost intercepted. And that was Mike Whittington who knocked the ball down. And it is second down and 10.
Reggie White playing the defensive tackle. This is the first time, and Reggie's job is, number 1, to put some heat on the passer. Here comes Reggie White. Is he doing a job? That's on Billy Kidd. Well, maybe it's not so nice in here. Let me get back to the outside
where I can really take off. Second down from the 19. Houston, quite an attraction on ESPN. It's travel night considering we're televised live here, and Houston's already clinched the conference. There's Dillon on the sideline, knocked out of bounds, taken out by Duran Major, but the catch is made over there by McGee, who already has a touchdown tonight.
If anything can break a defense's back, it's when you take Kelly out, who they know has thrown so many touchdown passes and broken every record there is to break. And all of a sudden you bring in your backup quarterback, Todd Dillon, who throws very, very well. And he pinpoints the pass out to Scott McGee. Duran Major's trying to cover him. It's nowhere in sight.
Well, Todd Dillon does have the strong and accurate arm. Put a lot of records at Cal State Long Beach, but also you'll say something about that run and shoot offense, too. You got a man that can throw back there. It works. Here comes Sanders. And there goes Fowler right up the middle, and again, Fowler is knocking at the door. Has one touchdown tonight rushing. Very nearly got another. Was turned back by Carlton Gunn, and they had to settle for a field goal. And now they've got second down and goal to go with the ball inside the 3. Nose of the ball almost on the 2.
Fowler needs 13 yards, Jim.
And Pepper Rogers needs something to turn around. I see Pepper looks like he might be warm in here.
Here, it looks
cool, rather. I mean, he's towel around him. Second and goal to go. Here's the pitch to Fowler, and he's taken on, but gets it. Hit by Hammond. He just took him right past him into the end zone, and it is now 23-0.
Yeah, he was hit by Hammond, or whether it was Fowler that hit Hammond. Just take a look. Now they're running up the middle. They're going to run a little toss. Number 54, Hammond's going to come up. Watch the hit. Bang. Fowler knows he's got to get 3 yards to the end zone, and that he does. Hammond holds on, but it's too late.
I can see the schedule makers right now in the USFL office. If this keeps up at 23, almost 24-0, they'll schedule Houston in Memphis next week or next year, so you have another revenge bowl. Because this is getting out of hand in a heck of a hurry. It is now 24-0, and folks, only 2 minutes and 21 seconds of the second quarter have gone by. Get him. Corbell is there and will help knock him down. Corbell and Verdun got him, and they are just as quick as Faulkner.
This is what it's like when you meet a fullback head-on. He's coming right at you. Take a look at Hammond. 54 is there. Busty number 8. He gets blocked. Fowler spins, gets into the end zone. Here it comes again. The toss to Fowler. White gets caught on the inside. Calvin Clark, 74, gets caught on the inside. It leads up to the linebacker, one-on-one on the fullback, and he needs help.
Ken Johnson, the quarterback, the ball's at the 49 at Houston. And here comes Cornelius Quarles carrying the ball for the first time and picks up 5 yards. And you can see that Lewis made the stop. Well, I tell you, what few offensive weapons Pepper Rogers started the season with have many of them been taken away from him. Walter Lewis, Curtis Hand is out, has been for some weeks now. Glenn Ford, his leading tailback, is out. And tonight, the man who's been doing a good job, Mike Kelly, with better than 70% of his passes completed, is out. And there's just not that much depth on this Showboat team. As we said, a funky team, but they're being outmanned and outgunned thus far tonight with 11 and a half minutes to go in the second quarter. And again, Quarles. The other way, there's nothing over there either. Cornelius. Then he get back to the line of scrimmage. He turned around to go the other way, and there was Pete Caton looking right down the sights of the barrel.
Oh, when you look at the play, Jim, it's Andy Hawkins, the linebacker. The play before that, he went inside. This time, he played it to the outside. Quarles had no place to go but cut back in the inside, and then he got the help from his friends that he wanted.
Third down, 7 to go. A beleaguered Pepper Rogers in this game. He really thought that they were going to be competitive tonight. But to be competitive, this game is going to have to do a 180. Johnson must throw. And he's going to get the first down. And he made, look at the little move he made to get down the 30-yard line. Not bad for a man who's 33 years old. And a backup quarterback.
A nice block downfield from Alan Reed, number 34. Jim, we got the Houston Gamblers coaching staff next door to us, and they gave us a sign that Jim Kelly will be back.
will be back.
Now, that maybe to start the second half and play another quarter in the second half. I don't know.
It could be that they're just getting Todd Dillon ready in case something should happen to Kelly. He'll be unavailable once they hit the playoffs. You've got to give your backup man some work.
I can't believe if they get up to like 30, 35 points in the first half that they're going to bring Kelly in.
24 points already. But a nice first down run by Ken Johnson. And there goes Alan Reed for not much. That's Peyton, who wrestled around with him, number 77, put him down. Reed is not a big man, as you all know, only 5'8". It is second down.
Pete Caton needs so much of this defense. Let's take a look at the defensive end, Pete Caton. Watch him. He'll spin out of his block, throw the blocker away, and I mean throw away. That's McKinley. And then Pete Caton gets back out and gets to tackle Hosea Taylor also in to help him out.
10 minutes left in the half. The drive began at the 49-yard line of Houston after the nice return by Crawford. Johnson. Now, nobody's going to get that. The least he went down was Alan Reed, but there's no way he could get as far as Johnson. Had to throw it some distance, or he'd put it up for grabs to the defensive back also. So it's just too far.
He could have run. At one time, if he didn't hesitate, Mike Kelly probably would have run with the ball in that situation. Ken Johnson did not. Pete Caton was fighting with his man, who was McKinley again, and went to the inside, took an inside move, and it let Johnson get to the outside. What the defensive ends have to do with no linebackers blitzing, Jim, they've got to maintain outside contain and let the middle take care of itself with the tackle.
Third down and 9. By the way, Mike Kelly is standing along the coaches on the sideline, helmet in hand. Here's Johnson. He's going to run again. They all peel back. And he took on Will Lewis. And a flag goes down.
They're going to call a personal foul
on Andy Hawkins.
Getting in the head.
There, Lewis and Johnson talking.
Ken Johnson's been around too long to go on and take on anybody, even including a defensive back. Now, just take a look at here's Lewis instead of getting out of bounds, but here comes the shot, and it's not Andy Hawkins, it's Calvin Easton, number 34.
Right. Ball at the 19-yard line, and they'll step it off from there, and that'll take it down to about the 10-yard line.
Personal foul, late hit, number 34, first down.
Now, wasn't he just going down?
Great hit. There's Johnson. I do believe the lottery is playing center. Let's see if number 65 goes out with the ball. That's 60. The lottery's in the center. Keene is not in it. There's a little short to Alan Reed, and Reed gets inside the 5-yard line where a bunch of folks hit him, and it is second down and goal to go. That's the one thing. Here comes Memphis back. The good kickoff return. A penalty to be sure, but some good running by Johnson. A completed pass, and they got a chance to make it 24-7.
Watch what happens. You think the ball doesn't draw a crowd? Watch what happens when Reed catches this ball. Is he going to flip it out to him in the flat? That's Johnson to Reed, number 34. Here they come. There's Mitchell, 35, getting blocked downfield. And watch him there. Lewis is there. Paul is there. Mitchell is there. Kiki Diala is there. Hosea Taylor is there. Did I leave anybody out?
You only mentioned 7 of the 11. Second and goal to go. Johnson's going to roll. Put it up and he's going to put it out to the back end of the end zone. You either catch it out of bounds, possibly in bounds, but don't let it be intercepted that far down. It's third down and goal to go. Crawford held it up as though I got it, but he didn't have it. In bounds.
Great catch by Crawford. But you're absolutely right. Ken Johnson does a smart thing with this ball. He's going to have a lot of heat on Van Hayes is coming in number 90. And watch what Johnson does. He just flips it to the back of the end zone. Here's an excellent catch. One hand, concentration, holds on to the ball by Crawford, but way out of the end zone.
Well, Van Hayes is some kind of relative maybe of Von Hughes, but you're close.
Van Hughes.
Van Hayes. Oh, I've never done anything like that in my life. Come on. Here comes Memphis, and there's the strike thrown right there, and that is for Anthony Jordan. And it's going to be fourth down and that much to go. Anthony Jordan has made his second catch of his professional career. Nearly a touchdown.
They have a chance to get a first down here. It depends on where that ball is marked. It's the half-yard line. They can, in fact, get a first down.
Rogers, fourth down. It's got to be one thing. Quarles, his big back. Time stopped as Jordan went out of bounds, but the clock is going. He's got 22 seconds as of this moment, now 20 to get the play off. Other tight ends and Heflin has come in. Short yardage situation. Either way, it's good because they don't make it Houston packed up. Pull out backfield, not the throws. You got a man out there, and unable to get it in Heflin. Over to him. The Houston defense takes over 8.5 minutes to go in the first half. 24-0 the Gamblers. Now it is Todd Dillon to try to get the Gamblers out of this precarious situation. They lead by 24 to be sure, but the ball's at their own 1 yard line. Usually throw from right in there. And they're going to throw. Dillon's going to get it up the long and to McNeil, and he made the catch. Are you kidding me? Cramp there is doing it, but that'll be okay. In a crowd to catch a ball like that. Ladies and gentlemen, that total concentration. Mr. McNeil is 5'8", 140 pounds. You see Dylan Clark is trying to get in. He can't get the pressure on Dylan. Todd just hangs the ball up in the air. Watch this catch. You talk about concentration. And there are enough people back there trying to cover on the play. Number 23, Vic Miner, is there. He can't do anything about it. All-time leading receiver at Baylor University, and you can see why. They had a first down at the 1. Now they're out at their own 48-yard line in one play. McNeil went off okay. Sam Harrell has come in. Dillon is the quarterback, and look out, Dillon, and he can't get out. Dillon is thrown back, and that's the first sack of the night. He was reading the crowd there. And it is second down. 24-0, 7:45 to go. Second quarter. The Astrodome in Houston were next Sunday. Arizona comes to town. As next weekend begins the second year of the USFL playoffs. And the defending champion Michigan, remember, made the playoffs, made it as a wild card, and Michigan must play at Los Angeles on Saturday afternoon. And how do you think Philadelphia feels playing Saturday against New Jersey, who have beaten them twice in a row? Jim Kelly thinks, hey guys. Second down, Dillon. Throws it out, and there is Moser, and he is put down across the way by Kim Demlin, at one time a wide receiver, now a defensive back. And move the 6. It's another first down at the 40-yard line. Moser's outside. Look at the defensive secondary. Now, Moser's up on the top. Watch how far off Dameron is, Jim. Here's Moser just sitting there. He'll go down on the knee to catch the ball. Dameron comes up. It's already a first down. Too late. But the key to that whole thing is that they had the 4-man rush, and the offensive line just caved everybody to the inside. No one had any pressure at all on Dillon. Now we're getting a lot of different people. So Dan is out here to the left. He is in. Dillon hands the ball off, and that is Harrell. And Harrell gets inside the 35-yard line. That's quite a story, as he said. 14 touchdowns, 13 of those before he got hurt. He was the leading scorer in the league. He got hurt. And I'll repeat what I said earlier. A paper said the first shot came when he said, my name is not Harold, it's Harrell. That was a shock. The second shot came, as good as he is, with those 13 touchdowns before he got hurt, when he came back, he had lost his job to Todd Fowler. That's the second shot. Second down, and 4 to go at the 34 of Memphis.
Anybody scores 13 touchdowns in the early part of the season, call him anything you want.
There's Dillon. Dillon puts it up and deep, and it is almost intercepted across the way by Duran Major. It was intended down there for Greg Moser. And it is third down, and 4 to go with 5:50 left to go in the first half.
Sam Morrell, take a look at this guy. This is the blocking in the line, but Sam Morrell in the top of your picture he gets a good block. But take a look at the drive blocking. That's Frank Khalil blocking on the outside on Gunn, number 66. And Gunn never got off the line of scrimmage. But again, in defense of Gunn in that position, his job is where he draws and screens. He plays the line of scrimmage.
You know, he showed us against Birmingham last week, Paul, that he is a pretty quick 300-pounder. And flying down the line on several occasions. Orville in motion. Dillon may be checking off, and he is checked out of time. And it's going to be 3rd down and 9.
They had Vance Corvell, number 83, running in motion. He went a little bit too far, and they said, hey, come on back, and it probably went to the wrong side.
Delay, number 10 of the offense, 3rd down.
Fowler has scored his 10th and 11th rushing touchdowns of the year. McGee has caught a touchdown pass, and Tony Fritz has kicked a field goal. That's the 24 points the Gamblers have. You know, or I feel, that Fowler will be back as well as Kelly. Fowler especially hit the 1,000-yard mark, but right now Harrell is in there. Dylan, I'll tell you what the screaming was about in a moment. There's Sanders with his first catch of the night and all those good moves, and he's got a first down inside the 30-yard line. The screaming was about the fact that the Houston Gamblers have gone over the 600-point mark, and no one in professional football before.
Remember I said in the first quarter that Sanders and the people, when they catch the ball, they know what to do with it after they catch it. Watch what Sanders does. Just watch his feet in the presence of mind where he is. I think Hammond, number 54, is going to come into your picture and get faked out of everything that he owns, and that's gone. And all of a sudden, Bussey comes in and makes a tackle, but Sanders already picked up the first down.
First down, Corville in motion. And Harrell tries to carry the football and gets a couple of yards. Well, again, we must go back because, Paul, what Pepper Rogers and his team wanted to do was to pressure the quarterback of Houston, whether it be Jim Kelly, now Todd Dillon, from behind. There has been no pressure at all from behind on the Houston quarterback tonight.
Does it make you kind of think that they may, Jim, just may, they be in Memphis, switch their defense in the second half?
They might. I thought they might have done it with 17-0. So much happened so quickly. It was 14-0 with less than 4 minutes gone by.
Now they've got a 3-man line.
That's their normal deal. And now there's a throw, and the throw is out there and complete to Baruch. And Mark Baruch gets it, and flags fly high in the air.
Jim, two things. It's either a face mask or a personal foul hitting in the head. Face mask.
Okay. We have seen every single wide receiver in the game tonight.
All right, let's just take a look at this one. Now we got another one. Bruce is out there. There's the face mask. There's just no question about it. Face mask on Mike Thomas.
4:16 to go. And Percy Penner referee.
Face mask, number 49, first down.
First down, the ball at the 17-yard line. McNeil, Badan, Mosey, McGee, Corville, Sanders, and Baruch have all been in this ball game. They're all wide receivers. They don't own a tight end here at Houston. Dillon, since replacing Jim Kelly, is 6 for 9 for 95 yards. That's Baruch in motion. It goes Harrell down to about the 11-yard line. Hanging on, Steve Bearden.
Jim, they keep lighting up this scoreboard, and I've got to read it. The Houston Gamblers, the first team in pro history that have two players that caught over 100 balls.
And now that Sanders is in there, and of course, by far and away, he's got the rookie record. And tonight, Richard Johnson's added another record. He's caught more balls than anybody else in the history of pro football. And he's sitting on the bench. Fowler is still looking for the 1,000-yard mark.
Well, DJ Magovic, the PR director here in Houston, has a computer in his office because he needs it for this team.
How about the size of their press book next year? Here's Dillon. Under some pressure. He's going the wrong way, however. He gets rid of the ball and sent it out of the hand and caught and picked off. by Dameron across the way, who was run out of bounds, and that stops that. Off the hands of one man into the hands of Dameron with 3:18 to go. The Showboats get the ball back. 3:18 left, first down 10. Ball at the 21-yard line of Memphis. They trail by 24. Crawford in motion. And nowhere at all to go. Adam Reed, the little man, didn't even get within a step of the line of scrimmage.
Cleveland Crosby just stuffed it all. Watch number 78. He'll come down. There he is in your picture, the top side, and he is the man that's going to make the tackle. There's Cleveland Crosby, and Reed just disappeared. They're running the football down 24-0. Maybe they just want to run the clock out.
I'm looking back at you. I guess so many disasters have befallen them already. Fumbles that have cost them, fumbles that they've not been able to take advantage of. Interceptions that have cost them, interceptions they've not been able to take advantage of. Here's Johnson. Floats it up here for Quarles, and bang! He lost the football, and they'll fall on it and get it. Diallo, I believe, or is it Tommy Myers? Quarles is floating under a floater, and you can see that the hit was coming from Hawkins. Jim, this is what you call
hanging. Your receiver out to dry. Now, the man that's going to make the tackle is Easton, but just take a look at it. He had the ball long enough. It should be first down Houston, which it is.
And it is Diallo who recovered the ball.
Tommy Myers was there also, but Diallo came up with the football. But Easton, when you hang out your receiver like that floater, Cornelius Quarles, you know, I admire him for just sticking with the ball. He catches it, has the possession, and then good night. Easton hits him right in the arm where the ball pops out. And Diallo's there. Excuse me, Jim, I thought it was Myers, 37, but it was 31. You're right.
From a 38-yard line, it is first down, and the ball belongs to Houston, and the clock ticks down to the 2-minute warning. It is all Gamblers, 24-0 in the first half. For Memphis, 91 yards and 4 first downs. On the scoreboard, there it is, 24-0 Houston, and they've got a first down at the 38 after the Diallo recovery of the Quarles fumble when he took quite a shot from Calvin Easton. Corville, the man in motion. And for the first time, Dillon gets some pressure from the backside, and they're not calling it a forward pass, they're calling it a fumble. And a recovery. Let's see who it is getting up over there. Is it Boucher? Looks like Scott Boucher.
It was Boucher. Now, the question is, with Dillon moving the ball, he's going to get hit on the backside by Calvin Clark, number 74. No, he hit the ball as his arm was back. This is an excellent call by the official. Boucher's going to end up on the football.
Second down from the 49. All is not yet lost for the Memphis Showboats. But there is a turnabout of dramatic proportions that needs to happen for the Showboats to get in the ballgame offensively, let alone stop the Houston offense. Second down, and 21 to go from the 49. Roost, the man in motion. Here's Dillon. Down here, that's Harrell or Harrell inside the 45-yard line. And Bud Williams makes the stop there, number 63.
Houston, they don't have to get fancy here. There's Walter Lewis, the Manson. They've got the cast off his hand. He's got a little bandage on there now. Walter can't put there. He is.
A little bandage in about 6 months before he's got to play again and go to camp.
He's an exciting football player. Walter Lewis from Alabama. But I said, they're going to just kind of let the clock go down. Houston, they're going to get the ball back in the second half.
Not too bad. And the feeling is that Jim Kelly may be back, and Richard Johnson may be back, and Todd Fowler may be back to take a shot at the 1,000-yard mark once the second half rolls around. Mark Farouk. And here's Dillon getting it all out there, and look at this. Unable to catch the ball. Here's Scott McGee, who has made more dramatic and better catches than that, and one for a touchdown already tonight. But that one, no good.
Scott McGee, it hits him right in the hands. It's the over-the-shoulder catch, one of the toughest catches you can make in football. But just take a look at Todd Dillon. He airs it out and puts that ball. Great form, follows through. Look at it, right on his hands. Almost had it. Dameron was there. Look at here. Right there. I hit you in the hand. You're supposed to catch it.
No wonder he set all those records at Cal State. Long Beach. That man's got an arm. And now they just let the ball go out. No punt.
Jim, they centered the ball to Kevin McLean, the up-back, number 50. He tried to fall down with it.
That was difficult. 2 seconds ago, and Memphis will take it over. And you can hear someone in the background yell 2 seconds. Remember, Tom Mees is standing by, and we're standing by with the second half. And probably more fireworks from Kelly, because that's not just our promoting the second half, but as Paul said, the Houston Gamblers' assistant coaches are right next to us. He indicated to us that Kelly would be back. As far as Pepper Rogers' defensive game plan, he thought it was going to be much more effective than what it has been thus far tonight. He went away from the 3-man front to the 4-man front, took out his linebackers, Suar on the left side, Lamont Jeffers on the right side, Rod Schultz, and instead moved up Barney Bussey and Mike Thomas there, and put Williams and Major at corners, and Dick Minor to safety. But only one time tonight have they come in from the back side, and that was just moments ago on Todd Dillon. While Kelly was in there, no one touched him.
Well, and if you want to know whatever happened to John Forcade, the All-American from Ole Miss.
Well, you wanted to know, but we who follow Memphis know that he's been there for about 4 weeks now.
He's there, and he's the third-string quarterback, number 5, and he was the most valuable player in the Senior Bowl game that we did. Said he wouldn't play unless he was drafted in the first 2 rounds of the National Football League. And nobody drafted him at all.
There he is. Ken Johnson slips, and he'll go down, and that'll be the end of the half. Half is over. Belongs to the Gamblers, who are already winners of the Western Conference, already hosts with a home field advantage, getting Arizona here next Sunday in the first round of the playoffs. And right now, polishing off at least in the first half, Memphis. And that is Calvin Eaton carrying the ball out across the 40-yard line. And here comes the Gambler team, and here comes Jim Kelly with a touchdown pass tonight, his 44th of the year. He's coming back out.
Amazing thing about this football team, here comes Kelly, 7'11", 111 yards, 1 touchdown and interception, Jim. They threw to no less than 8 receivers in their first half.
At least. I was trying to keep track of them.
Well, we ran out of paper here and room for names.
McGee comes wide to the right. McNeil goes to the left, and Johnson and Sanders are the men who'll be in. And now they're trying to get Fowler. He needs 11 yards to get the 1,000-yard mark, and he picked up 3 or 4 there. Dollar in relief of Sam Harrell when Harrell got hurt. Starting tonight had 946 yards.
Jim, when Harrell got hurt, you and I, we were watching the scoring leadership at that time. He led the USFL for like 4 or 5 games after he'd gone out.
I think it was even 6 games or more.
Yeah,
I think so. Ball at the 43-yard line, second down and 6. 24-0. Houston has got the ball early in the third quarter. That's Johnson in motion. And it's starting his first pass of the second half. He can get it away. And look out. And he gets it out here to Fowler, who can't pick it off his shoe top. And it's third down and 6.
Hey, one thing that we do have, James, and that's an awful lot of Memphis Showboat defensive linemen that are very, very tired.
That's nothing on occasion. We've seen defensive backs bring 165. Very, very tired trying to cover this ball from, let alone take Jim Kelly. Pepper Rogers, as we said before, in conversations with him, he thought his team would be very competitive tonight because it has been most of the year. He has done an outstanding job. But this run-and-shoot offense is just something else again, as every team practically that has faced him can tell you.
Look at this set. They took the 2 defensive tackles back off the line about 4 yards.
Kelly, and now he's going to get sacked. Reggie White.
This worked. They took both defensive tackles, Jim, back off the line 2 or 3 yards, and then they ran a stunt with the defensive lineman, and Reggie White gets in there. You can see the defensive lineman. Now watch Reggie White. Because at the top of your screen, you can see his legs coming into the picture. They just did not block him. He gets Kelly for the sack.
That's pretty quick work around the body of Kelly there, holding on. And here comes Dale Walters to kick the ball away. Kim Dameron. Oh, Houston stymied there in his first attempted drive of the second half. That ball bounces by and gets inside the 10-yard line and will be downed there. 13:08 to go, third quarter, 24-0, Houston. going absolutely nowhere is Cornelius Quarles. Anthony Brock put him down. 261 yards to the Gamblers. Now remember, that's 261 yards, and they didn't gain it but a couple of yards in that last time they had the ball, and they lost those when Kelly got sacked. But they still had 261 yards to, including the play you just saw, 84 yards for Memphis. It's been that kind of night. 3 of 8 for Johnson, only 19 yards. Trying to flea flicker, that ball's out for grabs. Picked up by Johnson, and down he goes. Quarles, when he went to pitch it back, it looked like he pitched it off the leg of one of the men. It fell, and then Johnson picked it up, and Pepper knows things are not going right. Trying a flea flicker from within your own 10-yard line. They want to do something, but that didn't work.
That sure didn't work, and here comes Johnson back. Now, let's just take a look exactly what happened. He's going to hand the ball back, and what happened is Cornelius Quarles tripped on his own man, which is an offensive lineman, Ken Smith. When he fell down, he never got the ball back to Johnson. Heads up, there's Andy Hawkins in there making the tackle. I think Pepper just said something about 24. That means that the halfback is going to carry the ball into the 4-hole. 3rd and 14. Let's see. For the fullback, yes, in the 4-hole. There, that's what it is. And Quarles just gets across the 5 and out near the 10. And Rick Parkin's going to have to kick it away. And Kelly and company will get the ball again. And remember, punting from his own end zone, it was just about like this when San Antonio punted last week to Gerald McNeil, who was in about the same spot on the field, about his own 45, and McNeil returned it all the way, only to have it called back. That man is fast. Well, they've got Memphis tightened up.
I may have chance for a good return here. Inside the 40, there's a quickness we told you about. There he goes! Touchdown!
Whoa! You're going to have to run this in slow motion. Replays are, but you have to because McNeil ran about 40 yards in about 3 seconds. That's what people chase him. He got some excellent blocks down the sideline, Jim. But he caught this ball. It was a short kick. He catches it on a dead run, 42 yards. Now watch him move to the outside. There's the good blocks there. That's Fowler getting a block, an excellent block downfield, and then he's going to pick up another blocker downfield, number 83, Corbell, who blocks the punter, and it's all over.
You could just see it coming.
Oh,
it happened last week. A little bit different route, but the result was the same, and there was a flag on the play. And when the line drive punt came up, you just knew that McNeil with a head of steam was going to get a lot of yardage, and he got them all. Here we are, 10 and a half minutes to go, third quarter, 31-0 Houston. They're still talking about it. And Tony Fritz, after kicking the extra point, as we just see Pippen pick the ball up, is but 1 point away from taking over the scoring championship. He gets across the 30-yard line. This is worth it. You'll see this in a highlight package time and time again, but we can look at it again right now.
Jim, what you want to watch is with Gerald McNeil. Now, this is a short punt, but watch what he does. Watch the quick move he makes to his left. Real quick, bang, he's back to his left. Fowler, number 46, is going to get a block right there. He gets up. I didn't see the number. But there is a sensational block on that side. Is there a 76? No, there isn't, so I don't know who that was. That's blurred. But here goes McNeil down the sidelines, and Corbell gets a block on the punter that puts McNeil in the end zone. That's just outstanding work on a punt return team.
From the 32-yard line, first down, Johnson. Falls over Pittman. Falls over Pittman. And look at him yelling at Pittman.
You're right. He's saying, hey, I've got enough trouble getting back because the blitz is on to my outside, and then I got to fall over a back and then get out of the way. Pittman's got to get out of his way in a hurry. They do a cross-action, play action here. Take a look at number 54 coming in on Anthony Brock again. Here's where he hits Pittman, but Brockman would have been there because they wouldn't have been able to get anybody outside to block him.
A loss from the 31, back to the 24. And giving it to his man Pittman, hoping that he can get some of them back, and he does, back to about the original line of scrimmage, where Diallo makes the stop again. Check that. I said Pittman, and that, well, it is Pittman. Fitzgerald was leading the way for him. Mickey Fitzgerald makes his first appearance, second-year man out of Virginia Tech.
You know, people really don't understand that, and it's not an excuse by Pepper Rogers at all. When you lose a great running back like Ford, who was an integral part of their offense, it takes an awful lot out of your offense. And now you lose Walter Lewis, now you lose Kelly, your backup, you're going to your third quarterback.
Not a deep ball club. They've done a lot because they've got to look out. There's Peyton again. That's his second of the night, 17 and a half on the year. And they'll have to kick the ball away again.
Well, nobody blocked Caton, and is that McKinley again on the outside? It certainly is. Watch Caton just run right by him. Johnson drops back, never steps up. McKinley can only do so much to force a man to the outside, but Caton cut it back to the inside and made the sack.
Yes, he's standing back on a 30-yard line.
He had a break. He's all rested.
McNeil. And Partridge knows that he wants to get that ball up this time if he can, and does, but very short. And fair catch off board. Now McNeil's probably upset that he got the fair catch. Ball is about the 47-yard line. Houston's got the lead, and they get the ball back. First down, Houston. They've got the ball on their own 46. As of today, if you've seen it, Philadelphia, a top-rated passer, he's going to win the championship. Out of Birmingham, rested yesterday. Kelly has got all the records, but he's only third on the rating system. The receivers, well, you know who they are. Johnson and Sanders, look at that. Johnson, no one has ever caught more in the pros, and no rookie's ever caught more than Sanders in his rookie season. And now Dillon is back as Kelly just started, and that was about all. Johnson, the man in motion. Dillon hands off, so this may be it. This is very close for Todd Fowler, and maybe on the 1,000-yard mark. Very close for Fowler to get that 1,000-yard mark. Been coming in for the injured Sam Harrell some games ago.
Kelly played one series of downs. He didn't move the ball. They took him out. Just to get the field. See Kelly on the sidelines. He's directing traffic.
That's it. He did it. Just made the announcement.
That'll pump him up a little bit more.
Oh, their accomplishments and their records are something like throw the ball out here, and Richard Johnson does not get it. A hurried throw by Dillon, and it is going to be third down and short yardage. 7:13 to go, third quarter, 31-0. Gamblers have been in control from the outset. Memphis had the ball, fourth and inches to go, try to pass in the end zone, and Johnson overthrew his tight end Van Heflin, and that's as close as they have come. Third down, wide to the left, Moser to the right, and of course there are two slot backs. That's Sanders in motion. Dillon hands off to Fowler, and Fowler's got the first down. Inside the 45-yard line, hanging on is Jimmy Walker, number 93.
Pepper is not a happy man.
Can't do. 31-0. You know, it's bad enough to get beaten. It's bad enough to get beaten badly, but when you don't have any ammunition to fire back with to speak of, it's just frustrating.
They really had, 73 yards in total offense. We're more than halfway through the third period. And, again, Houston's going to score 30-some points. What you have to do is try to outscore them.
Dillon gets it out to the sideline. Sanders, and he'll be bumped out of bounds over there by Leon Williams, number 29.
I had a feeling that time Dillon just threw the ball without even looking, knowing Sanders was going to be there.
6:25 left. Well, we'll tell you again, the playoff picture Saturday, New Jersey at Philadelphia, Michigan at Los Angeles, then Sunday Tampa Bay at Birmingham, Arizona at Houston. Then they'll play the conference championships on the weekend of July 7th and 8th. And then on the 15th, down to Tampa. Site of the NFL Super Bowl will be the site of the USFL championship. Second down and a yard after that last pass. Dillon can run if he can get away, and they're going to call that in the grass of Reggie White, who's moved inside, had some problems early on, but lately has been playing very well, thank you, as a tackle.
Reggie White. All right, here's Dillon going back. He gets an excellent block on the outside by Fowler right there. Look at this block by Fowler. Not only can he run, but he also can block. And you're going to see Reggie White put that one paw in there, and they blew the whistle just at that point.
Terry Love checks in. The defensive backfield of Memphis. Ball at the 46-yard line of Memphis. Third down. And 12 to go. Johnson in motion. Dillon gets it over there again, only this time to Verdun. Verdun does not get the first down, gets to the 40-yard line, and you can see Leon Williams there with Mike Whittington putting him down. And it is fourth down, and Memphis is going to get the ball back again. A noticeable difference, excuse me, Paul, when Jim Kelly is not in there. Dillon had early success, but none lately.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. Memphis just went up to put their punt return team on, and Dillon's coming back on. They're going to go with their offense on fourth down and 7.
You think they have a little confidence in their own defense?
Well, the one thing is that Memphis, you wait until they put the punt team on, then you put your punt return team on.
They've made the adjustment. Hardy's group is putting on a show going on fourth down. But it does not work. Johnson cannot hold on to the ball. And Memphis takes over. 4:57 to go, third quarter. 31-0. The Gamblers. All those points after touchdown. And we'll have a discussion here. Here's Johnson throwing because I received word that is updated, and yet I heard that he only needs 2 points to take over the scoring leadership here in the second half. And according to that graphic, he needs a lot more than that. So we'll check on it for you. Let's see, in the first half, Tony had 1, 2, 5, 6 points. And with that added another 7 points. That'd be 124 he now has. Playing in the offensive line. Second down and 8. And there's Reed, and Reed has his best run of the night and picks up a first down and moves into Houston territory with Easton making the stop. It's something when a ball game is 31-0 and you're holding your time trying to figure out who's going to get the 1,000 yards. Whether you're going to get another 300-yard game tonight. They've had 9 of them already, passing the ball, but obviously they won't with Kelly on the sideline. Sanders' rookie record, Richard Johnson's overall record, Todd Fowler hitting 1,000. We're in the cleanup position for next year's press book. Kelly's going to have about 8 pages in their press guide next year. I wonder how many people, if any, will be using some or all of a run and shoot offense. There's Johnson. The ball and to nobody. Knocked down with Charles coming out of the back. Check that Mickey Fitzgerald coming out of the backfield.
Jim, there's got to be there should have been a penalty on the play. Mike Hawkins hit Fitzgerald coming out of the backfield. I mean, he knocked him flat on the ground before the ball even got there. Again, we must report the rumors all over Denver and all over Houston that Mouse Davis, the man who put in this run and shoot offense, maybe the next head coach of Denver. As of last report, Craig Morton, unavailable for comment, is still the head coach. That's Mouse Davis. Former head coach of Portland State, sent 14 players to the NFL. Second down. Here is Derek Crawford has no chance at all. Hollis Hall puts him down. They had that play read from the time that Reed started to his right. Derek Crawford said, wait a minute, there's too many people, too many black shirts back here. You're going to see Hollis Hall in the picture. And when this pitch back here, there's Hollis Hall along with Lloyd Lewis, who is a defensive end. That is a loss back to the 35-yard line. And it is third down and 31 to go. The score is 31-0. 3 minutes, 20 seconds to go, third quarter. And there's Johnson. He's going to go down. I tell you what, I said it in the first half, and I don't mean to be facetious
or anything else. But the way Memphis supports and believes in its team, and well they should, because they've not been doing it with mirrors, but with not a great deal of talent, but with a lot of desire. If I were the USFL schedulers, and I'm not, I would send Houston to Memphis next year and watch them pack that bowl and see what a 1985 Showboat team could do. McNeil is deep on his own 30. Partridge on 4th down and 37. I'm going to call for a fair catch here. Flag is down, and McNeil goes out to 45. Flag is down way downfield. And it might be that way downfield there was an illegal block or a clip thrown down there. Reggie Bonner. By Reggie Bonner, one of their defensive backs playing on special teams. Number 41.
You know what's a shame about the illegal block from behind, Jim, is the fact that McNeil already was by. Here it comes here. Just see Bonner blocking right here. Now take a look. He's got to get his head in front, but you've got to understand something. McNeil's already by him, and one hand's not going to bring this little man down.
That's Crane Buell that he illegally blocked.
Illegal contact above the waist during the return, number 41. First down.
Ball is on the 28-yard line. First down and 10, and we'll come back to the Astrodome after this call. The Showboats stick back with him. We'd like to thank all of the public relations directors of all the teams of the USFL that have helped us, and we'll just say, let's start with DJ Makovich at Houston and Tommy Horton and Memphis, who are here tonight. They've all been of great quality and of tremendous help. First down and 10, Houston from the 28-yard line. Baruch, the man in motion. And now they're going to flip it back to McNeil and see what he can do. And apparently he's going to do a lot. He's got a first down at least. As he comes all the way out before he is put down by Steve Bearden, the defensive end. Now there is something. McNeil weighs 140. Bearden weighs 240.
You know what Houston's doing? Take a look at this play right here now. Here comes the little down in the flip back to McNeil. Now Bearden is on the outside. He's going, whoa, wait a minute, I made a mistake. Here comes McNeil coming back, looking for some blockers downfield. He's got Bearden made a great play to come back. They are giving the Arizona Wranglers an awful lot of things to think about, James.
And I'm sure they're watching in the Tempe area, Phoenix, Scottsdale tonight. And there's Burrell stepping through a couple of would-be tacklers and gets to the 45-yard line. Less than 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. By the way, Houston, and they may not do it tonight, has not shut out a team. And we told you about the injuries to members of the Memphis Showboats team. That still a shutout is a great way to start your playoffs, especially when you've got the home field advantage.
I just think of the words of Pepper this afternoon. We're going to go after them. It's going to be a tough game. And think about our schedule as opposed to Houston's schedule. And it just did not work out the way Pepper thought it was going to work out.
Well, recently they played Birmingham, Tampa Bay twice, Oakland when they were on a streak. They played some tough teams. Well, Dillon, what is he going to do? Todd's going to run it is what he's going to do, and Setter get out of bounds. And does get out of bounds. Shy of the first down. A man that was pursuing him was Crane Buell. Look at this. They haven't done that much in the third quarter, Paul, meaning Houston. Only 30 yards in total offense in the third quarter. But the Showboats, who were up in the 80s by being sacked and thrown, are down to 60 total yards gained. 60 yards gained, and we're almost through the third quarter. 60 yards. I mean, the way this is going, unless Memphis breaks a couple of big ones, they could go out here with under 100 yards total offense. Moser in motion, and now Dillon calls timeout.
He was down to 1 second, Jimmy had to call timeout.
We're in the Astrodome with a fair crowd. On this last Monday night game, this last game of the regular season of the USFL, Todd Dillon, in relief of Jim Kelly, goes off. And this is our last game, Paul. I know that you are going to see each other later on next month for a game that will be talked about later, but involving USFL. Not a championship, that's the season over. But Bruce Connell has been our producer throughout these Monday nights. Mark Payton, our director, we thank them. And, of course, the associate producers, Joe Belkey and Jim Rosenberg and Al DePato. Al D, our Chiron operator, all of whom have helped us and put up with us. And here we are through 4 months together.
Well, they've done a incredible job.
What you wanted to say is nice try, guys. No.
We've had some great shots. It's a great replay.
1:10 to go, third quarter. Houston in charge from the very beginning, where in less than 4 minutes they jumped up to a 14-0 lead, and they now lead by the score of 31-0.
Look, old Phoenix tough, huh?
Well, that dust is still with me. They had some dust storms yesterday as we left there after the game Saturday night. And hot, and I think that I brought about 3 pails full of dust to the back of my throat from the Scottsdale area. Stampede. The ball is on the 47-yard line, as we said, and Dillon is now ready. It is third down and 2 yards to go. Moser in motion. And Dillon going to throw, and the ball was deflected. The ball was deflected upfield. It was intended for Verdun, but it's deflected by a linebacker dropping off. Looked like Steve Hammond from where I was, and Dillon goes out, and they'll have to kick the ball away. All game was all Houston, and then they yanked Jim Kelly, put him on one series in the second half. Once Todd Fowler got his 1,000 yards, they took him out, and the ball game has slowed in terms of Houston dominance. Reggie Sandilands is the man deep, not Samlin. Look out, he gets the ball away. Sandilands takes it at the 15, gets away from one man, and then Hawkins will drive him out of bounds. Andy Hawkins at the 25-yard line. And it'll be first and 10. Now, here's how they're going to play, as we said. New Jersey gets Philadelphia, and Tampa Bay gets Birmingham on Saturday. And then Michigan and Los Angeles. I should say the winners who advance on to play on July the 7th. But their Saturday games on Sunday, Michigan, Los Angeles, and Arizona's here in Houston. And they go on to play the following Sunday on the 8th of July. And then 2 weeks from Sunday on the 15th, they go ahead and play the big one down in Tampa. Everybody's guessing who's going to make it and who's going to win it. There's Reed, and Reed's not going to get too far. They'll keep the clock running.
Jim, we got to thank, not only we thank the PR people, there's Jack Pardee, the coaching staff, Pepper Rogers, all the coaches throughout the United States Football League. And the one thing that they have done so much for us this year is the cooperation. We have had meetings at ESPN with the coaches the day before the game with the home team and the day of the game with the visiting team. They have given us so much cooperation. They are responsible for some of the pictures that we see because they help us offensively and defensively.
And now, that ball gets deflected away. Intended for Sandilands as it was. And very quickly it is third down. Well, I know that a lot of people say, yes, we know. We're enjoying the game, so you don't have to thank everybody. Well, we feel as though we have to. And thus far, we've not thanked one huge group. And I'll put them all together. We just call them the technicians, without whom nothing works. You don't see the picture. You don't hear us. The technicians everywhere. Thank you. It is third down and 7. 17 seconds left in the third quarter of this final regular season game of the USFL. 31-0 Houston. Johnson. That's not good enough, is it? Now, see, they had gotten up to 63 yards, and now they've lost 4 yards, so they'll drop below the 60-yard mark in total yardage.
Jim Lewis makes the tackle, but when you see a play like that and the quarterback drops back, not only is there a lot of pressure by the defensive line, and the one thing you have to keep in mind, the defensive secondary, they have everyone covered. When there's no place to throw the football, the quarterback has to eat the ball. It's an easier job for the defensive lineman.
And the third quarter is over before they get this fun away. Third quarter's over. It is all Houston, who've already won their Western Conference Championship in this their expansion year. He takes it at about the 44-yard line. And it'll be first down the Gamblers. Third quarter went by in a hurry. Here's the cumulative statistical information.
Well, You don't have to be brilliant football mind to understand when you only gain 15 yards passing, 42 running, 291 to 57.
This is a low pass mark, really, for Houston, but remember, Jim Kelly did not play much of the first half and only a single series of the second half. And they took out Johnson and Rogers, Sanders rather. It's just an awesome offensive ball club. Someone knows how to shut them down. Houston defense has some problems, but did not have tonight because of injuries immensely. There's Dillon putting it out here, and yes, sir, caught fumbled by Corville, and they're jumping on it because that is a completed pass.
Corville got knocked silly, Jim, and ends up with the ball again. He gets a shot. The ball goes down. I think the man that hit him was Duran Major, number 27. We'll see here. Corville goes down. This pass is right on target. Take a look at it. But watch the shot. Is that Major right there, 27?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is. Now, watch what happens. Corville's actually, here comes the ball. He really doesn't have any idea where he is right now. The ball's going to get knocked back. And Bussy, number 8, the ball goes back to Corville. He said, hey, look at this.
There it is again. And the ball is at the 24-yard line. Completed pass, fumble, recovery. McGee wide to the right. Verdun to the left. And Corville in motion. And there goes Harrell, and Harrell gets inside the 20-yard line.
They put Corville in motion. I don't know, he might have run out of the stadium. That last, it's got to be frustrating for the defensive backs. You've got, first of all, you start with Sanders and Richard Johnson and McNeil and Moses. Now all of a sudden, Jim, you come back and you got some more little people running around out there. You got Verdun, Bruce, McGee.
There's so much Corville. There's so much speed in those outside receivers, and they only have outside receivers, no tight end. As Dillon crossing pattern intended for Moser, but threw it behind him.
I think that's an excellent point, Jim. They carry 8 receivers on the team. 8 wide receivers, basically. Even though Richard Johnson wears a 22, but they're all little people, and they run all day long. Here they come, off the line. There's Moser there. And when the defensive backs can grab you by one hand and not let you fall down, that's Vic Minor. You know they're not very big.
Well, Greg Moser's the biggest. He's 6 feet tall. He's the biggest. Then you got 1, 2, 3, 5'8", 1, 2 is 5'9". There's Dillon looking across the middle again, unable to hold on to the ball as Mark Perouse. And he took a shot or two in there, didn't he? And now it is 4th down. And Tony Fritz, I am sure, is coming out and will try to get his numbers again on his quest to take the league lead in scoring. So here comes 3 more, perhaps. And as you can see, 5 for 8 in this distance. This will be a 37-yard attempt. 37 yards out, he measures it, and he has it. Tony Fritz, 37 yards out, makes it 34-0 Houston with Stroud at Philadelphia, number 6. And there's the kick, and here's Pittman, not going very far, downfield very quickly is Anthony Bott, the linebacker. And things just get worse for the battered Memphis Showboats. Jack Pardee can enjoy this, but then once this is over, his old mentor George Allen comes to town to play here in the Astrodome with the Arizona Wranglers next Sunday. Pardee has had rather good success with Allen as head-to-head coaches.
Okay, that's encouraging. Way to go out there.
First down. Mike Kelly played much of the first half. Took a shot to the ribs, came back, went out, and Johnson's in their center. That's Alan Reed, and Reed gets out near the 20-yard line, and that is about all, as he was put down there by Ricky Young, reserve middle linebacker.
Now, this is a good-looking play that they run. They haven't had that much success with it tonight, but it is a good-looking run. I know they had some success with it Birmingham. What Johnson does is he rolls to his left. but he throws the ball back to Reed, who runs behind him into the hole. And what that does, if the linebackers are keying quarterback, it takes them out of the middle. It could open it up.
I may give you one of the biggest challenges of this season, which tonight is in its final game.
Shoot it at.
All right, second down and 8 after this. That is Shirk in motion. Johnson back to throw, and it's taken by Derek Crawford. And Crawford, and they're going to call out a late hit. Call out a late hit on Lee Wilson. All right, I'll give you your big challenge. Well, we still have to pick the Menon MVP, the $1,000 from the Menon Company to the College or University of Choice of the Menon MVP. With the way things have been spread around tonight, think about that. We don't have that long. Well, we've got almost a full quarter to go.
Memphis, Showboats, Dreamboat. They got a standing ovation from the visiting crowd, from the home crowd, from a visiting cheerleader.
And I think most of them went to Memphis State, so that might be a good idea.
Yeah.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 28, first down.
Moves the ball across the 40-yard line, just across the 41. 34-0, fourth quarter. And Memphis with the first down. That's one thing Jim Kelly learned. Praise those offensive linemen. Take them to dinner. Do anything. Keep them off your back. Johnson gets the ball and overthrows. Coming out of the backfield, Alan Reed, covered there by Ricky Young, the linebacker.
Tim, not only is Ken Johnson running for his life, but he has no receivers that are open. They've got receivers running, two people in the same area. I look at Gary Shirk is out in a pattern with Sandelin. They're both in the same area on the outside. You've got one man going deep, covered by two people, and they try to throw it to a back. Alan Reed coming out of the backfield, who's covered by a linebacker.
They send Cormac Carney, who's caught one ball tonight, wide to the left, Crawford to the right. Johnson. Ball across the middle, and Carney holds on to it. And then goes down inside the 40-yard line. And that'll up their total yardage something, at least into the 70s, and perhaps the low 80s. It has been a frustrating night.
It's been so long since Carney has had the football in his hand. Watch how nice that Johnson lays this ball out in front of him, though. Cormac Carney's coming across the middle. He has some people, he has a person on him. And who is that? Lewis, number 24. Yeah, Will Lewis. But Carney hangs on to the football, and he wants to still keep going his legs. Hey, what do they call that? Going down the stairs?
Running down the cellar stairs. First down from a 37-yard line. And there's Reed showing some speed till he runs into a brick wall. Hosea Taylor puts him down at the 35. A word about Pepper Rogers. I reported a week or so ago, Paul, from Memphis, that the Washington Post had a big story, and I'm sure the folks in Memphis know it, that Pepper Rogers is operating on a handshake, and there has been some conjecture whether or not he will come back next year. But it was nice to see a man that I did not know lived in Memphis write a story in the paper about him saying he's done a great coaching job, should be coach of the year. Tommy Prothro, former professional coach and coach at UCLA.
And he's his Rams coach.
Second down, and 8 to go. He gets the ball up, but for whom? No one, except maybe it's the sideline cameraman over there. And it is third down and 8. Nearest man to is Gary Shirk, but the ball was well out of bounds. No, I didn't notice Tommy Prothro. Not only did he do a nice thing to Pepper, but had moved back to Memphis, Tennessee. They're on the field, all 140 pounds of it. All that speed. First down Houston from their own 34 after Varner's interception, and that is Reggie's first of the year. Todd Dillon remains the quarterback. Gerald McNeil is back in. And again, we apologize for the lack of picture, and as you well know, we are working to get it back. Orville in motion to the right as Dillon drops straight back. Now he's got nobody in front of him. Comes up to the line of scrimmage, across the line of scrimmage, across the 40-yard line, the 45, and out of bounds near midfield. What's another first down, Houston. With 6:34 to go, and they've got better than 3 times The total offense of the Memphis Showboats are showing 113 on the board. Total offense.
I know they don't have the picture, but Brett Williams, number 63, the defensive lineman, the tackle. When Dillon rolled out, here's a man who played a long game, and now you're into 6 minutes and 30 seconds left to go, Jim. He chased Dillon all the way down the field and still got a hand on him as he's going out of bounds.
The Dan comes to the left. Moser goes to the right. Farrell is alone step back. As Corville goes in motion to the right, 3 receivers on the right side, but they're thrown back to the left of Verdan. Verdan stepping around and moving backwards at the 45-yard line. Finally gets 34-0. 6:27 left to play in the fourth quarter. They're throwing the football. Folks, this is what they do. They throw the football. And when you take away the pass on him, that means that Fowler's going to carry the ball. That's why he has 1,000 yards not starting the season. But right now, they're doing what they do best, and that's throw the football. Taken down, and Dillon drops back to throw it again. Out of the backfield, he's got a man, but he can't hold on to it, and that is Mark Farouk. Incomplete at the 42-yard line. Took quite a hit from Vic Miner over there, the strong safety. And it is third down. And again, the clock is stopped at this 34-0 ball game. Well, quite a sense of accomplishment. Memphis won 7 games, and there were those that did not think they might win any, and of course that really went to San Antonio, and San Antonio surprised a lot of folks too with how well they played under Gil Sankey. They also won 7 games. But Houston to win the conference championship, to roll up all these records, nobody that I know of at this moment says that they thought that could happen. And now, Corville carrying the ball to the right, now reverses the field back to the left, gets the block at the 40, gets inside the 35-yard line, puts down at the 33-yard line with Leon Williams, again making the stop. That's another first down for the Houston Gamblers.
I'm laughing. They are so fast, all the little people, the Mouseketeers, they are so fast that, when you think you have a shot at them, and again, the defense, they've been on the field a long time. Houston, they've played just about everyone on their offense, including their backup linemen. All their 4 starting receivers, well, Moses coming back in now, but have been on the bench most of the second half.
Ball on the 34-yard line, first down. Again, Verdan wide to the right. Moser coming in motion to the left. Dillon rolling right. Throwing it, and nobody's there, and he overthrows his one man who was there. And that was Verdan. Don Fowler is at the 1,000-yard mark tonight. He scored 2 touchdowns tonight. And he didn't start for the first 7 or 8 ball games because Harrell was doing so well.
I remember, I go back to the Denver game that played Houston. They figured what they're going to do with them is they're going to play 5 linebackers, no down linemen, and 6 defensive back and shut down the passing. And that's something I was talking about earlier. They did that. Yes, they did. Fowler gained 200 and some yards rushing.
108. That's all. And now we got Corville in motion to the right on second down 10. The ball is handed off to Harrell, who starts up the middle and does not get too far up the middle. Fine job done in the middle. And we cannot see the man who did it. It looks as though it might have been Steve Hammond along with Brett Williams. But in any event, give him only a gain of a couple of yards. We're getting you the 5 yards of the 5-minute mark. And of course, Houston will let this run down as far as they can. Do you think they know that Tony Fritzen only needs 2 more points to take the lead? And maybe they will run another play here, and they're right in the middle of the field goal. Let him go ahead and get ahead of Herschel Walker with a scoring championship. Third down from the 32-yard line. I was wrong. And here's Dillon going out to the right, and he is forced down and knocked down on the good play by Reggie White. One of the few bright spots tonight for the Memphis Showboats, and he is the rookie, as you well know. 4:43 to go.
All right, Dillon's going to go out, and he's trying to just hit that short pass. But Reggie White, there was a deal on the inside. He came from the tackle back to the outside, got kicked, and also got kicked in the head by McLean.
Fourth down, and again, Paul, they are leaving their quarterback, Todd Dillon. Well, this time, Memphis does not get his punt return team in. They waited to see, and Dillon's going to stay in on fourth down.
Now, this would be a 52 or 53-yard field.
They're not going to go for that. They've got 3 wide receivers to the left. And sending Corville out to the right in motion. Dillon back to throw. Dillon looking deep. Dillon throwing deep, and the ball is caught into first down. And that is Joe McNeil. And Barney Bussey is furious that he made the catch on him. Move the sticks inside the 20-yard line. And less than 4 minutes left.
Gary Argovich looking on, but I'll tell you, watch Dillon fire this ball to McNeil. He has to, because Barney Bussey is there. He fires the ball and hits Gerald McNeil right in the chest with the ball. That's an excellent pass. Bussey, you're absolutely right, is totally furious with himself.
Well, I apologize. I've been doing my old radio style here, and we have our pictures back, so we'll just slow it down to normal, okay? Up inside the 20-yard line. And there's Terrell going straight ahead. Not for much, is it? And as he gets up there, we can see that again. Brett Williams is in on the tackle, and Jimmy Walker and Mike Whittington. 34-0 and an awesome display. And I say that because the Gamblers are almost at the 400-yard mark in offense. About 20 yards to go. They're not playing Jim Kelly most of the time.
The defense is so tired. Look at the guys. They are just beat.
They've been out there an awful long time.
That's Reggie White down on one knee playing that defensive tackle. Now they brought him off the line. They'll run a stunt again.
And here's Harrell straight up the middle, and Harrell gets down to about the 10-yard line and may have the first down, although I think they're going to mark it at the 11, which make it third down and short. Jim Kelly along the sideline. He threw another touchdown pass tonight. He got him up 17-0 in a hurry. That's Mouse Davis, the offensive coordinator. 2.5 minutes to go. And I think you know that Memphis is going to wind up this season with a record of 7-11. Whereas Houston is going to be 13-5, winners of the Western Conference, and nearly every offensive record in the book for passing and catching the ball in the history of professional football. There's Dillon, who's out there, and he throws it beyond his intended receiver, and that is Verdun again, taking a dive inside the 10-yard line. And here comes the fourth, and here comes Tony Fritz. Here comes Tony Fritz.
And this will take us, he had the scoring lead right here, and will take us right down to the 2-minute warning.
Tony Fritz has got to make a little bit of pressure on him here, but Tony's been around for 13 years in the NFL and USFL, should be ready for this. It should nudge him ahead, if he makes it, of everybody, and this is the last game, and he's never missed at this distance, so it's right, isn't it? 29 yards to take the scoring lead. From 29 yards out, did he get it? Yes. He got it. It is 37-0, and he is the leading scorer as he takes off his hat and shows that shiny head to the crowd. He doesn't care. He is the scoring leader.
8 for 8. Just take a look at Tony Fritz. He'll tell you right now. Is it there, Tony? Yes, indeed.
How about that? Everything has happened. Coming up, roses for the Houston Gamblers tonight. That we have selected him as our minute MVP, and he said, you got to be kidding. But he did score 2 touchdowns, leading up to the quick 24-0 lead early in the second quarter, and he got enough yardage to go over the 1,000-yard mark. Of course, we could have gone with Johnson setting a record, or Sanders with a rookie record, or Kelly with his 44th touchdown pass, or whatever, or the defense, the entire defense, which is shutting out Memphis, but we gave it a Cobb College. Memphis working on trying to avoid being the first team to be shut out. The pass is complete to Allen Reed, and Reed gets out across the 20-yard line. And in the last 2 minutes, that stops the clock with 1:44 to go while they move the stick. So as everybody's talking about the offense and what it has done, the defense is going to go into that locker room and say, hey, we did a pretty fair job ourselves.
And we've got an injured player down there.
And we'll take time out. It looks like Brock is down. And why is it I'm back? Bill Moore. A week ago tonight, there was a faulty truck lurch with a slipped clutch, and he fell off, and the camera fell on top of him, and that's why he's got a T-shirt that says I'm back. And the fans know what happened, and they like that. Here's Johnson throwing to Allen Reed, and Reed gets across the 30-yard line and across the 35 to about the 40-yard line, and they'll stop the clock again, and that defense is beginning to give a little bit. Still a long way to go, but what a matter of pride it is for the Houston defense to shut them out, or, for that matter, the Memphis offense, operating as they are in a 37-0 game, to put something together, if only in the last minute and a half.
In Memphis, they're going back into the huddle, even though the clock stops on a first down. They're going into the huddle and it's using up all the time.
There's Johnson. Puts it out here, and and that's almost intercepted, but both men were out of bounds, including Alan Reed, the defensive receiver, and Lee Wilson, the defender on the play. Well, I got to be honest with you, this is not what Pepper Rogers expected, even though he is quick to point out that Walter Lewis is not here, and he lost Mike Kelly, did not put him back in. Glenn Ford, his top tailback, is not here, and he wasn't going with his full arsenal. But then again, who has stopped Houston this year? Jack Hardy's team has had a great team here offensively and on the scoreboard. And now on a foot race down the sidelines, and that ball is caught. That's Sandlin at the 18-yard line, and with 1:07 to go, maybe the Showboats will get on the scoreboard and deny Gamblers at least.
Watch where Ken Johnson throws this ball. Now downfield, it's right there. Sandlin catches the football. Bonner tries to come over and help out. Mike Dunn, number 33, is the defensive back that's back there, but Sandlin, that ball was put right on target.
Ball is at the 18-yard line. They've taken timeout with 1:07 to go, and the Showboats hope to score at least once in this ball game.
Houston?
I'll check with you long after next week and see whether or not you're right. If you had to pick one team for the champion, who would you pick?
I'm supposed to get mad at me, all the other teams, but I'm going to pick Birmingham.
Okay. Here's Johnson. Memphis trying to score. Now he's going to put it up and for no one, as he's being pursued back there. On a good job, Johnson got rid of the ball, as leveling on him was Joe Bach, an offensive center who is playing some defense. If the numbers out there are correct. 59 seconds to go. Miles Davis. He still has to go and help this team, and there's some around here saying we're not going to let Mouse get away. All these rumors about him going to Denver someplace else. We're going to make it worth a while to stay here. Well, we'll find out as time goes on. Great position to be in, Albert, and he deserves it with what he's done with his offense. That's his offense that's out there. And Johnson being pursued again. And puts the ball up, and right in the middle of everywhere is Mickey Fitzgerald, and he is going to be wrestled down at the 8-yard line with 48 seconds to go. And now they've got 185 yards before that run, so that should get them close to the 200-yard mark and make them look respectable in the yardage game. Time is called. Gamblers have almost 400 yards. But remember, this drive began back on the 10-yard line, so much of the yardage is taking place in the last 2 minutes, moving from the 10-yard line down inside the 10-yard line of Houston. Well, I guess if you're talking about this season, you start out with the defending champions. Michigan, pretty good start. Big disappointment in recent weeks in Michigan. You start out with offense, you got to talk about the Houston Gamblers. Talk about the best defense, at least in the rating system in the league this year. No surprise, George Allen. Talk about new men in the league. How about Jim Kelly? How about Steve Young? Talk about old veterans coming in the league and what they've done. How about Joe Cribb? How about Chip Stout?
I think the biggest difference in the USFL from 1 year, the first year to the second year now, has been the quarterbacks, the young quarterbacks that came in the league, and some of the veterans that came over. You know, Chip Stout did not look very good at the beginning of the season. Came on to be the number 2 rated quarterback. Chuck Justina had a great year. When you look at Kelly and Young and some of the other players around the league, the quarterbacking has improved so very, very much. And remember, it's only 2 years in the league. We're not making excuses, but we're just saying one thing. Imagine how good the football will be next year.
Well, you can't say that they'll go back because they've made great strides forward, and I'm just anxious to see how far forward they go. Remember, we have just signed a new contract for 3 more years to bring you the USFL on ESPN. So we'll be able to watch its progress and which direction it takes. Up the middle, but nowhere to go. Close to the touchdown goes little Alan Reed. And that's going to continue to run the clock down. 36 seconds to go. Memphis does have a timeout left. They got the ball on the 5-yard line. Meanwhile, Houston is trying to stave off a score they would love to have. a shutout. They haven't had one in their brief history of just one season of play. There's Johnson back. Johnson looking. Johnson putting it in the end zone and beyond the outstretched arms of Anthony Jordan. And 13 seconds to go and third down. And look at this. Kiki Diallo's coming back in. Easton's coming back in. They are putting the top people back in. As Tony Fish says, I got the scoring lead. Nobody can take that away from me. But Houston is going to put some of his top men in there because they don't want Memphis to score.
But they still have Joe Bach, who is an offensive center playing defensive end, and he's got to be a throw first. There's Joe in your picture, number 52. He almost got to Kent Johnson a couple of plays ago. He's seeing off from the outside. He likes that position where now you don't have to hold. They have to hold you.
Third down and 5 to go. Crawford the man in motion. Memphis still trying. Johnson looking. Johnson in trouble. And down he goes. He's in the grass. That takes it back to the 14-yard line. And that is Mr. Bach. The offensive man who on our depth chart is not listed on defense at all, but rather as a third-string center. And he's playing defensive end. They're going to kick a field goal here. Just to get on the board, and prevent Houston from getting the shutout, apparently.
You watch that defensive line and linebackers come.
Now, do you think they're going to kick the field goal, or do you think they're going to do something other than that? They want the sure three just so they can say they were not shut out in the final game?
To give yourself something for next year to say, hey, we can't score on them, even if it's in the latter part of the game, Jim.
6 seconds to go.
It's a big thing to go home and say, hey, we didn't score a point in a game.
28-yard field goal attempt by Alan Duncan. Fans are on their feet. They don't want him to score it. The ball is good, and they're on the scoreboard with 2 seconds to go, and the fans don't like it a bit. Houston is denied their shutout, but remember, Memphis down 37-0, took this ball at their own 10-yard line and drove it all the way to the 5-yard line before they kicked the 28-yard field goal. And we're just 2 seconds away from saying that's it for ESPN and the USFL in its second year. Almost like approaching New Year's Day, isn't it? The ball is still up for grabs, and out of bounds is the half, and the game are over. Houston has won at 37-0, all kinds of records. Cozzano 2 touchdowns, and he got the 1,000 yards. He's our man in MVP.
Well, this team is awesome, and when you take out your number one quarterback, all 4 of your number one or first team receivers, it's awesome.